20 talents. To some he gave 100 talents.
Yeah.
So after he shared those talents can be your skill, your experience, whatever you've got. Some went out and used those talents and produced more results. One that was given only one talent went and buried his own talent. All right. So because he was like that, he felt like his master is a wicked person. Why would he give someone 100 talents and give him only one? So he went to bury his talent. I was like, hey, when this guy comes back, I'm going to say to him, this is the one thing you give to me, take it back.
Yeah.
All right. Because he felt underprivileged. He felt unrecognized. So when the master came back and started taking accounts, the person who was given 100 came back with 200. The person who was given 50 came back with 100. The person who was given 20 came back with 40. The person who was given 1 was like, hey, master, I know you're a very wicked person. Why would you give someone 100 and give me only 1? Because I don't want to lose the 1 talent you give to me. Here is your talent back. And he gave him the talent he gave to him back. And the master got so angry. And I was like, hey, you should have better put that talent in a treasury or somewhere else so that at least I will see some profits when I come back. Yeah. But because you buried what I gave to you, Jesus said that he was cast out into outer darkness where there were gnashing of teeth. A lot of Christians will get to heaven and be cast out because they didn't use the talent that God gave to them. Not because they sinned or because they were wicked or because they were disobedient. It's simply because they were unprofitable.
Yeah, that's really, really good. That's the best time of year. Wow.
It's amazing, but it's the truth. It has been in my mouth and in my heart, but it's the truth. Listen, people don't go to hell because of sin.
Yeah.
Sin does not take anybody to hell. Jesus dealt with sin on the cross, okay? So once you put your faith in him, you are justified. God does not look at what you do to accept you in heaven. He looks at who you put your faith in. That is why Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Everybody in this world is a sinner, including myself, that is saying this, okay? So nobody gets to heaven and say, and God was like, hey, because you're a sinner, not coming here. Who takes us to heaven is Jesus, not us. That is why it is the free gift of God. That's number 1. Number 2 main reason why people are going to lose on earth is those people who hear the gospel and reject it. In other words, those people who hear Jesus and reject it. Understand? Everybody's name, according to God, everybody's name is already written in the book of life. Your name is in the book of life. My name is in the book of life. The drunkard on the street, his name is in the book of life. The prostitute in the mall, her name is in the book of life. Everybody's name is in the book of life as long as you are alive. It is called the book of the living. Okay? Now, in Revelation, the Bible said that anyone whose name was not found written in the book of life was cast into hell. Not anybody whose name was written in the book of life. So what takes people's name out of the book of life are those who hear Jesus and say, no, I don't want to do anything with Jesus. Then in heaven, their name gets written out of the book of the living. That is what is called the book of life. So it's not like when you give your life to Jesus or when you accept Jesus, heaven will be like, okay, let's put his name in the book of life. That's not the way it works. That is why Jesus, John chapter 3 verse 16 and verse 21, he said, this is the condemnation that came into the world. Men rejected the light. They rejected Jesus. So by them rejecting Jesus, they became condemned. So when somebody is preaching to you the gospel of Jesus, he's also preaching, even though he's preaching to you a very good gospel, which is called the good news, he is at the same time preaching to you condemnation. Because it's only because condemnation when you hear it and reject it. But when you hear it and receive it, it becomes a good news. Do you see how dangerous it is? Yeah, that is why most people does not want to hear anything about Jesus. You know why? Because hearing it and not receiving it, heaven will be like, oh wow, he's heard about the Lord Jesus Christ and he didn't accept it. His name gets written out of the book of life.
I understand. Wow.
So when God gave me this revelation as a preacher, because I preach the gospel, I stopped.
Is this what you do?
I preach the gospel. Yeah.
Wow.
as a preacher, I stopped preaching because I don't want to be the reason why somebody is condemned. I don't want to be the reason why somebody heard Jesus and say, hey, that your Jesus said, I don't want to do it. And then when he gets to heaven, heaven tells him, do you remember what Caleb told you about Jesus and you rejected it? Hey, you can't come in here. I felt so bad about it. And then months passed, second month passed, and the Lord came to me and said to me something that is very important. He said, if you wouldn't open your mouth to speak, did you also consider the weight of the sacrifice that I paid to make it possible? The man died on the cross. The man went to hell. Jesus went to hell. Jesus faced the judgment of God so that he can make it easy for people like me and you to be welcomed in the presence of God. He said, I have already paid the price. So if you wouldn't preach or tell people about Jesus so that those who would reject it would be written out of the book of life, you are also putting me to crucifixion the second time.
Yeah.
In other words, you are saying to me, hey, you didn't do a good job. I became so sad in my heart because literally I don't want to be the reason why somebody will hear Jesus, reject it, and then go to hell. It's very dangerous, but it's true. It's true, and it's the fact. So in summary, because I only have 2 minutes, the camera is on me, don't worry, it's not on you. In summary, okay, I promise you 10 minutes and I'm keeping it on 10 minutes.
It's fine.
So in summary, all right, the gospel, the message of Jesus is one easy route to a good life and another easy route to a problematic life. If you understand it perfectly, it's going to lead you to good. If you lack the understanding of it, it's going to lead you to a problematic life. That is why Jesus said, I have come to bring what? Fire on earth. I wish it was kingdom.
Wow. Wow.
I know you have a lot of questions, but this is how easy it is. Easy and free. Okay? When you put your faith in Jesus, Jesus takes your place. That's why he said there is therefore now no condemnation for them who believe. That is Romans chapter 5. There is therefore now no condemnation. Nothing can condemn. Even Satan himself cannot condemn you. Let me tell you the good part. You cannot sin anymore when you're a Christian. When you truly accept Jesus, there is nothing like sin. You can make a mistake, but Jesus will never whip you because of sin. All kind of murder, fornication, adultery, whatsoever it is. Of course, you better be careful so that the Lord doesn't catch you, however. But the fact is that from the sight of God, you are already justified. He will start to treat you as he would treat his son. I know you have a lot of questions, but this is my summary. Okay, Jesus is good, but the rejection of Jesus at the end becomes bad. All right, cheers.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. It's just good that you know it.
Do you do this on the like TikTok and things?
No, I just put it on my status when I feel like. But since I got this revelation, it is heavy. I just wanted to do it here.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right, cheers, man. God bless you. God bless you, Richard.
You too.